run again for governor. If, Alex, she's going to run for president of the United States, you would start in Iowa in 2011, and you can't be running for governor for all of 2010, get elected in November, and then say, goodbye, I'm headed to Iowa. So I sort of anticipated if she were going to run for president, and this is the time if she's going to do it, because she is a red-hot political commodity, that she would not run for re-election. However, I am mildly surprised, and more than mildly surprised, that she's going to be standing down in July. I would really be interested in the reasoning for that. It could well be that she feels that as governor of Alaska, the kind of treatment she has gotten, the sort of soap opera attacks on her, the constant attacks from the left and from the late-night comedians and from other, and frankly, from cable shows and things, that she would be better off being out of office. Let me say in conclusion, I do not have an exact explanation why she would be leaving at the end of July, but not running again makes all the sense in the world.
So what do you think? It's the recent Vanity Fair article, the past week's release of the email tit-for-tat that she had with the McCain camp. That's the kind of thing that's weighing into this, and she's just saying enough is enough?
Well, it sounds like, look, ever since I thought she did, and I think most Americans thought she had a tremendous campaign. She was a sensation on the road. She was the second most charismatic figure in America last November. But since then, she's been involved in an awful lot of back and forth that is really not conducive to a presidential candidacy, and that in parts of middle America, and I think in parts among moderates and others, suggested that while she might be charismatic and exciting and attractive and interesting, that she is just not up to the job of being president. Now, it could well be, again, this would be speculation on my part, if she is not going to run for re-election again, that makes all the sense in the world. And if she's leaving now, it could mean an intense period of study and work and campaigning for folks in 2010 in preparation for a run for the presidency. If she's going to run for the presidency, 2012 makes all the sense in the world.
Pat, we're listening to Sarah Palin making a statement. Let's go to that. Stay with us.
And with great administrative and legislative success. My choice is to take a stand and affect change and not just hit our head against the wall and watch valuable state time and money, millions of your dollars, go down the drain in this new political environment. Rather, we know we can affect positive change outside government at this moment in time on another scale and actually make a difference for our priorities. And so we will, for Alaskans and for Americans. Let me go back quickly to a comfortable analogy for me, and that's sports. Basketball. And I use it because you are naive if you don't see a full court press from the national level picking away right now. A good point guard, here's what she does. She drives through a full court press, protecting the ball, keeping her head up because she needs to keep her eye on the basket. And she knows exactly when to pass the ball so that the team can win. And that is what I'm doing, keeping our eye on the ball. That represents sound priorities. Remember, they include energy independence and smaller government and national security and freedom. And I know when it's time to pass the ball for victory. And I've given my reasons now, very candidly, truthfully, and my last day won't be for another few weeks, so the transition will be very smooth. In fact, we look forward to swearing in Sean Parnell up there in Fairbanks at the conclusion of our governor's picnic at the end of the month. And I really don't want to disappoint anyone with this announcement, not with the decision that I have made. All I can ask is that you trust me with this decision and know that it is no more politics as usual. And some Alaskans, it seemed today, maybe they don't mind wasting public dollars and state time, but I do. And I cannot stand here as your governor and allow the millions of dollars and all that time go to waste just so that I can hold the title of governor. I don't know if my children are going to allow it anyway. Some are going to question the timing of this, and let me just say that this decision has been in the works for a while. In fact, this decision comes after much consideration, prayer and consideration. And finally, I polled the most important people in my life, my kids, where the count was unanimous. Well, in response to asking, hey, do you want me to make a positive difference and fight for all our children's future from outside the governor's office? It was 4 yeses and 1 hell yeah. And the hell yeah sealed it. And someday I'll talk about the details of that. I think, though, much of it for the kids had to do with recently seeing their baby brother Trig mock mocked and ridiculed by some pretty mean-spirited adults recently. And by the way, I sure wish folks could ever understand all that we can learn, all of us, from someone like Trig. I know he needs me, but I know that I need him even more. And what a child can offer to set priorities right, know that time is precious. The world needs more Trigs, not fewer. My decision was also fortified during this most recent trip to Kosovo and Landstuhl to visit our wounded soldiers overseas, those who truly sacrifice themselves in war for our freedom and our security. And we can all learn from our selfless troops. They're bold and they don't give up and they take a stand and they know that life is short, so they choose not to waste time. They choose to be productive and to serve something greater than self and to build up their families and their states and our great country. These troops and their important missions now, there is where truly the worthy causes are in this world, and that's where our public resources should be, our public priority, with time and resources spent on that, not on this superficial, wasteful political blood sport. So may we all learn from them. Really, we've just got to put first things first. And first things first, as governor, I love my job and I love Alaska. And it hurts to make this choice, but I'm doing what's best for Alaska, and I have explained why. Though I think of the saying on my parents' refrigerator, a little magnet that says, "Don't explain, your friends don't need it, and your enemies won't believe you anyway." But I've given my reasons. It's no more politics as usual, and I'm taking my fight for what's right for Alaska in a new direction. Now, despite this, I sure don't want any Alaskan dissuaded from entering politics after seeing this real climate change that began in August. No, we need hardworking average Americans fighting for what's right, and I will support you because we need you, and you can affect change, and I can too on the outside. We need those who will respect our Constitution, where government's supposed to serve from the bottom up and not move toward this top-down big government takeover, but rather will be protectors of individual rights, who also have enough common sense to acknowledge when conditions have drastically changed and they're willing to call an audible and pass the ball when it's time so the team can win. And that's what I'm doing. Remember, Alaska, America is now more than ever looking north to the future, and it'll be good. So God bless you. And from me and from my family to all Alaska, you have my heart, and we're going to be in really great hands, the capable hands of our Lieutenant Governor Sean Parnell. And Lieutenant General Craig Campbell then will assume the role of Lieutenant Governor. And it's my promise to you that I will always be standing by, ready to assist. We have a good, positive agenda for Alaska. Take the words of General MacArthur. He said, "We are not retreating, we are advancing in another direction." So with that, I'm going to hand this over to our good Lieutenant Governor. And again, I say thank you and God bless you, Alaska.